I'm Sara. I'm 19. I've been dancing since I was 3. My 2 cousins danced before me, and so I would go to their dance recitals, and that got me really interested. And then one afternoon I saw a commercial on TV for a production of Dances with Wolves, and I looked at my mom and I was like, "Mom, I really want to do that. Like, can I dance?" So she put me in dance classes.
Can you tell me about your studio and your teachers and what it was like there?
Sure. I've always been with the same studio since, ever since I was a little girl. I had 2 teachers. One was much more old-fashioned, very traditional. She was a little older, so she danced in the era of traditional, what we would consider traditional, so that's what she taught, which was good. I liked it. And then my cousin was my other teacher, and she was much more modern. She brought contemporary to the studio and taught us how dance could be emotional. And she always tried to keep us up with the times. Whatever the new thing might be, she tried to put us in the loop with it. Because we were from a small town, so we didn't always know what was going on, and so she kind of helped make sure that we did.
So do you use dance as an emotional release?
Yeah, definitely. Especially now that I'm older and understand it better, because when I was younger, dance was all about being on stage and just, smacking a cheesy smile on my face and being like, "Look at me, Mom, I'm on stage, I'm dancing." But now it's definitely more about telling a story while I'm on stage. And even going to class is an emotional release because it helps me feel better all the time. I can go and I can just let everything out, or I can forget about it. It can be used as a distraction too. Like, I go to class and concentrate on hitting it hard in jazz or being a prima ballerina or something, anything like that, and it kind of makes everything else go away.
Do you have a favorite style of dance?
I think it's between 2. I really like contemporary because of the emotional piece of it. You can really tell a story with a contemporary piece. And contemporary also, it doesn't have to be pretty. It can also be like kind of that awkward, hard-hitting story too. But I also really like tap because I like being able to make all those different sounds with my feet and come up with a cool rhythm and make it match to a song that you might not always think you could do a tap dance to. So, just between those 2.
So what are your favorite dances that you've done?
That's also between 2. The first one would probably be my senior solo. Every senior that's graduating gets to do a self-choreographed solo in the spring recital. And I chose to do mine to "You'll Be in My Heart" from Tarzan. And I had my cousin, who was my teacher, ever since I was little. She danced with me for the first half of it, because that song is all about like growing with help of someone who means a lot to you. So she was that person for me. And it was such a good dance to end my senior year on, because it was self-choreographed, so I was pretty proud of it. But also to be able to see the reactions that I got from other people watching. Like, I could look in the wings and see my aunt bawling her eyes out because she was so proud, and my studio director on the other side of the stage also bawling her eyes out, and hearing the stories afterward of my parents and like not even being able to see the number because they were crying so hard, and that made me feel really good too. My other favorite dance actually was a trio that I did with like my 2 best friends. My cousin choreographed it and we brought it to competition, and it was to Sail by AWOL Nation. And that was just a lot of fun because it was so dark and it was so different than any dance that I'd ever done before. And it was such like an angry dance. We used to joke because one of the girls in it was always so bubbly and so happy that she had to have an angry jar that she would put all of her angry emotions in that she could open when we did sail, because otherwise she just couldn't emote the amount of anger that we were supposed to have. So it was just such a different experience for me, and the fact that I got to do it with my two best friends made it mean that much more. And then we got to compete with it, and we ended up getting a high gold rating for it. It was great.
So when you step out on stage, or before when you're standing in the wings, what is going through your head? How are you feeling?
Before I get on stage, I'm excited. I feel ready, hopefully, and I just can't wait to get on that stage and be in front of an audience. I've never really had an issue with being on stage. It's always where I feel the most confident, so it's just excitement. And so when I finally do get on stage, it's just complete relaxation. I don't have a worry in the world. I'm just doing what I love, and the audience really helps. You can't always see the audience because of the lights, but when you can, it's really nice to be able to look out and see that they're enjoying themselves and they're liking what they're seeing. It helps make me want to do better and want to be bigger or have more emotion in whatever I'm doing. So it's just, I don't know, I guess it's so hard to describe. It's just, I'm doing what I love and I couldn't be happier.